నమస్తే సాక్షి తెలుగు ప్రజల మనస్సాక్షి స్పెషల్ ఇమిగ్రేషన్ టాక్ షోకి స్వాగతం సుస్వాగతం. Today we are back with our expert attorney Bhanu Bigilitra garu, BBA Law Group PC, 17 years of experience in law offices. And so before we begin the show, please note that the information provided on this show not illegal advice, just for information purpose only. So Sakshi TV or its agents will not be responsible for this. If you need any specific legal advice, please contact the attorney directly. So today we are going to talk about H1B CAP registration process, pending USCIS announcement and commencement of CAP registration. So let's begin the show. Hello Baru garu, namaste Andy. Welcome
Hello
to the
Andy,
show.
how are you?
Doing good,
How are you,
Andy?
Andy?
Yes, chala bagunnanu Banu garu.
Yeah.
So, Banu garu, we have some important updates in this week. So, before we get into this topic, so please provide your law office's information and practice areas and also your experience.
Sure, Andy. Thank you, Andy. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity and I would say become a part of this Sakshi family right now. I'm really thankful for that. My firm name is BBA Law Group PC, Andy. I'm the founder of this firm. I started this firm in 2008 and we exclusively practice in immigration law, basically. I'm practicing immigration law for 17 years now in the US. And we not only represent in the US immigration matters, but also we represent in various outbound cases also. Like, for example, any consulates matters and everything also we started this year, taking up those matters and everything also. We represent all types of immigration matters, Andy, like employment-based green cards, employment-based immigration matters, family-based immigration matters, basically, and also EB5, investor visa matters. We take up all those things, F1 visa issues. We do all kinds of immigration matters, basically. We are located in Herndon, Virginia. Basically, we are in Washington, DC suburbs, Andy, you know, and our website is www.bbalawgroup.com, and our contact details are 703-496-7722. My email ID is Bhanu, BHEANU, Bhanu at bbalawgroup.com. And that's what it is, Andy. So I would have represented in thousands of matters until now before the USCIS. So, and I'm blessed for giving that opportunity, you know, and we are able to do the service because of the clients who are able to trust us and give us the business to us, and we're really, really, really thankful for that reason to them, Andy. You know, yeah.
Yes, we have some important news update on H1 CAP registration process. So, can you brief us?
Yeah, sure, Andy. Two things basically. One is very, very important is that in the past couple of weeks we were discussing that the CAP lottery registration may be implemented based upon the wage level selections, based upon the regulations passed on January 8th, Kadandi. Fortunately for this year, it's not going to be implemented. They delayed implementation of those regulations till December 2021, basically, you know. So December 9th, 2021 work will postpone chesaru. So I think December 21st, exact date correct, but December 2021. Therefore, that wage-based level selection will come into effect next year. That means for the fiscal year 2023 CAP course on the basically, you know. So for this year, the registration will happen the same way like what happened last year. Basically, what requires is the minimal information from the employer, that is employer name, and if any DBA name, that DBA name, and the employer's federal ID information, the employer's contact details, employer signatory authority details, and the beneficiary name and the beneficiary contact details, like beneficiary date of birth, basically, you know, and country of birth. And that is the minimal information which we have to submit to the USCIS and pay $10 fee, just like last year, and then get into the H1B lottery registration lottery, basically. And one more thing different is from past year is basically is this, Sunday. Last year, వాళ్ళు lottery registration commencement date March 1 నుంచి ఇచ్చారండి. March 1, 2020 నుంచి March 19, 2020 వరకు ఇచ్చారు. 20 days ఇచ్చారు వాళ్ళు మనకి రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ పీరియడ్. కానీ దిస్ టైమ్ వాళ్ళకి రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ పీరియడ్ ఇస్ గోయింగ్ టు కమెన్స్ ఫ్రమ్ March 9th, 2021 అండి. సో 9 days తర్వాత స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. And they reduced the 6 days for the registration period also. Instead of 20 days, they reduced it to only for 14 days right now. So from March 9th నుంచి only May 24th మధ్యాహ్నం 12 o'clock వరకు ఉంటుందండి ఇప్పుడు basically. Okay. So that 14 days they have given. So May 24th తర్వాత registration ఉంటుంది. So everybody has to register between that 14-day window. అదొక్కటే. Last time 20 days ఇచ్చారు, ఈసారి only 14 days ఇచ్చారు. ఆ 14 days విండోలోనే మనము ఎవ్రీథింగ్ స్టార్ట్ అవుతుంది. March 9th మధ్యాహ్నం 12 o'clock ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది. మళ్ళీ May మళ్ళీ మార్చ్ 25th మధ్యాహ్నం 12 క్లోజ్ అయిపోతుంది బేసికలీ. సో ఈ లోపల మనము రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ అంతా చేసుకోవాలి. సో దట్ ఈస్ వన్ గుడ్ న్యూస్ దట్ వీ హ్యావ్ బేసికలీ. దట్ మీన్స్ వీ షుడ్ బి ఏబుల్ టు ఫైల్ ద కేసెస్ ఇన్ ది అగైన్ ఫ్రమ్ April 1 నుంచి మనం క్యాప్ కేసెస్ ఫైల్ చేయగలుగుతాము. We'll have 84 days, just like 90 days, just like last time they've given, until June 30, 2021 for the first selection of lottery. Even if people don't file all the cases that have been selected in the lottery during this period, and just like last time, if they have a possibility, they're going to do the second lottery. And again, in the second lottery, whichever case have been selected, those people will be able to file in the second filing phase, whatever the time frame they give, that is the time frame which they should be able to file it. Last year, our second phase, November 14th ki endindi. So hopefully this time, this time kuda alage aitundi anukuntunnam, but we have to see how it goes basically. Ante kada.
Yes, Bhanu garu, as you said, it's a good news for all H1B petitioners. Yes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, March నుంచి December 31st కి delay అవ్వడానికి, THS delay చేయడానికి reason ఏమైండొచ్చు అంటారు?
The reason వాళ్ళు clear చెప్పారండి, basically because they have to develop a new system basically for that. And not only developing the new system, they have to also go through the testing process, various application testing process, various stages to develop any application in software cycle. In SDLC, there are so many things out there because of the online implementation application kabatti, the chala testing methodologies avani povali. And also they have to get the OMB budget approval also to implement that, all those things. They have to hire people, develop those things. And it has to be error free, because if there are any errors, if there are any bugs in the system, companies will sue them. I mean, will lose the opportunity to become part of the lottery. So they have to make sure that the application is completely error free, which they're basically implementing online. And that's why I think they're taking time. I think it's a very wise decision from the USCIS. This is what we anticipated, Andy, and all lawyers, immigration lawyers anticipated, because they have very less time to implement for this year. But
Yes.
but the problem is the previous government does not care about what's going to happen with this thing, right? So we were worried about how it's going to happen if the prior administration continues its power and everything. But
Yes, I think in previous episodes you mentioned this.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. I did mention about these things, and
Yes.
I'm hoping that everything will be fine, and basically, that's what we're hoping. And I think we will be okay and now this one basically,
Okay. Mangaru, I think అయితే మనకి this time public comments కూడా ఏమన్నా ఛాన్స్ ఉంటుందంటారా?
దీనికి ఇంకా పబ్లిక్ కామెంట్స్ అనేది ఏం లేదు కదండి, because already registration final regulations have been published in the Federal Register basically, so there is no public comment here. And also this is about the process of how to facilitate the or basically make it easy for the employers to get into lottery registration system basically. Previously, we have to file all the filings to the USCIS kada, and then USCIS has to take the lottery and then they have to return those files. There is a lot of paperwork, a lot of cumbersome activity for the USCIS. They want to make it easy for themselves. That's why they implemented this lottery registration process, because they want to reduce the paperwork from their end basically, and the logistical work which they want to basically end from their end. They implemented these regulations. Right now, I don't think there is anything like that. But if there is any legal issues comes, then this will probably be a question. But I don't think there is. I mean, that is the question which we have to see basically, whether we can file any lawsuit for implementing any wage level based lottery selection basically. I think that is. I strongly believe. I think we spoke last time also. I think that is what do you call? It is very perceptive for the lawsuits basically. In the country, I don't think Congress intended to file H1B petitions or get selected lottery based upon only the what wages you're paying for the employees. What the Congress intended is basically is that you file H1B petition for somebody who's going to be employed in a specialty occupation that requires at a minimum bachelor's degree or its equivalent in a specific field of endeavor basically, right? So that issue can come. It's of course it leads to the interpretation, it leads to the authority or the deference given to the USCIS and how to implement the lottery selection process, especially because what USCIS may take a stand saying that Congress never intended that, never foresaw that this heavy subscription will happen on the same day, and under those circumstances, what need to be done. And I think what USCIS may take a stand saying that they have given tremendous discretionary authority there or deference to them on how to frame the policies pertaining to the selection or accepting the cases if they receive more cases than what beyond the cap requirements, basically on the same day or within a certain period of time, basically. I think that's what it is, because it was not challenged before in 2008 when they implemented the first 5-day regulation, basically, that they'll accept all the cases that have been filed in 5 days and they're going to implement the lottery end at the time. And I'm not sure, because they have a very strong precedent set in favor of them. But at the same time, I think it's perceptible. What I would say is it's possible that we can file a lawsuit on that, but we have to see how it's going to go. We have a lot of time till December 2021 and see basically how it goes. And yeah.
సో భాను గారు, ఈ ఎలక్ట్రానిక్ రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ రిక్వైర్మెంట్స్ ఏంటి? ఐ మీన్ ఎప్పుడు రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ చేసుకోవాలి, ఎవరు రిజిస్టర్ చేసుకోవాల్సి ఉంటుంది?
Registration process will commence on March 9th, 2021 this year, Andy, for the fiscal year 2022 cap cases scheme. And that means employment start date will be October 1, 2021. Cases scheme March 9th, 2021 నాడు registration process start అవుతుంది basically. Usually employers who intend to hire somebody on H-1B visa, they are the ones who are supposed to register with the USCIS, and they have to make a separate registration for each employee, basically. Each employee, but they can do together for all the employees registration if they want to. For example, let's assume that they're going to file, let's assume that some employer intends to file around 100 cases, H-1Bs for their employees, 100 employees. They can register at a time for 100 employees. But still, they're considered as separate 100 registrations, but they can register at a time together, basically. So it's up to them. They want to register together, they want to register separately, whatever it is, but it is the employer who can actually make those registrations,
Okay. And so, Bhanu garu, will both the attorney and client will need to be registered in USCIS process కోసం చేసుకోవాల్సిన అవసరం ఉంటుందా?
అవునండి, ఎంప్లాయర్ ప్లస్ అటార్నీ ఇద్దరు రిజిస్టర్ చేసుకోవాలి. అండ్ వన్స్ ది బోత్ రిజిస్టర్ అకౌంట్స్, బేసికలీ 2 అకౌంట్స్ క్రియేట్ అవుతుంది. యూజువల్లీ ఇఫ్ యూర్ వర్కింగ్ విత్ అవర్ లా ఫర్మ్, we create the both account. We create the accounts for the client as well as attorney. Attorneys anyway, we have our own accounts. We create an account for the clients, and then we'll forward their login ID and password details and everything to them. And once we create the registration from our end, then we will basically guide the employer to access that information in their account and verify that information is true or not. And they have to provide consent in that website also, basically, that information is really true, and they are the ones who are filing this registration for their employee, basically. And once they do that, then we will be able to go ahead and pay the $10 fee on their behalf and submit that registration to the USCIS, basically. That's how it happens, basically. It is a process we have to follow.
Okay, then when will be the lottery takes place?
Immediately. So March 25th ki lottery close అయిపోతుంది. So within a couple of days, we'll be seeing online website whose cases have been selected, whose cases have not been selected. They have a time till March 31st. Prior to the March 31st, anytime they will come back and tell us exactly whose cases have been selected, whose cases have not been selected. So 6 days time, I think they have 6 to 7 days time to let us know that whose case have been selected, whose case have not been selected, or whose case have been rejected because of errors in filing or duplicate filings, whatever the reasons they are. All those things will come into that existence over there. That's correct.
Okay, so if we get selected for H-1B cap registration petition, when can we file our H-1B petition?
We should be able to file our H-1B petition. Earliest will be April 1, 2020, and the last date will be June 30, 2020, because you have 90 days time to file the petition. Therefore, that is between April 1 to June 30th, basically.
Okay, so how will we know if you are not being selected? I mean, they will send email or
you have to keep on checking. We have to keep on checking online, and basically, as an employer, and as an employer, certainly we will be keep checking online their accounts, basically seeing that whether the case have been selected or not. Because if the case is selected in the lottery, then it changes to selected in the system. If it's not selected, then it will still show as if it is submitted, basically. That's what the system says, basically, right? So when you submit the registration, when you complete the registration process, it says submitted registration, basically. That status will not change if it is not selected in the lottery. It will still say submitted. If it is rejected or denied for reasons for erroneous filing or duplicate filing, then it will say it's rejected or denied, basically, over there. So whenever it is submitted, that means it's been submitted, but it's not selected in the lottery yet. That's what it means.
Okay. So, Bhanu garu, can we submit more than one registration for a beneficiary of the same fiscal year?
Not from the same employer.
Okay.
Okay, and the same employer means it includes not only the employer who actually filing, even their affiliates and subsidiaries also, basically. right? Any related company, anybody who can define as a single employer, those companies cannot file for the same employee. It's a duplicate filing basically. Okay, but as an employee, I can have a multiple offers from multiple companies, which are not related companies, basically, right? So in that way, multiple employers can register for the same employee, provided they have a bona fide separate job offer for him, basically.
Okay. So is there any appeal process for registration determined to be invalid duplicates?
No, unfortunately, there is no appeal process. No, because you're not seeking any benefit from the USCIS. You're just trying to get into the line, basically. Only the time you'll be able to have an appeal process or a motion to any appellate process, basically, whether it's a motion to review or reopen or basically even filing an appeal, that possibility will be there only when you're seeking a benefit from the USCIS. Like, for example, you're filing an H-1B petition, actual H-1B petition, and if that petition is denied, then you can file an appeal, basically. But this is basically you're trying to get into the line to file actual petition. You're not filing anything with the USCIS. Registration ki em kavali anadi basically registration ki em kavali అని చెప్పించాను మీకు నేను. Employer information kavali, employer federal ID kavali. If the employer is any DBA doing business, ఆ information kavali, వాళ్ళ address kavali, employer signatory name kavali, signatory title kavali, signatory email address kavali, and phone number kavali basically, and then employee name, employee beneficiary name ఇవన్నీ kavali. ఇవన్నీ మనం చేయాలి. Before that, basically we have to, as I said, we have to go and create an account for the employer, and once an account is created, and then we'll be able to create all this registration for the employees. A registration creates as a ton is if we create a registration for them, then the employer has to verify that registration, saying that it's true and correct, they intend to hire an employee from their end. And once they do that, then obviously we should be able to go ahead and pay $10 fee for the particular registration and submit the registration to the USCIS. That's how the registration process will be completing, basically. That's how we enter into it. If you miss any one of this step, then obviously your registration becomes invalid and you won't be in the line to get selected in the lottery.
Okay. So Manugar, I have a question. So what will happen if USCIS does not receive enough registrations to meet the cap?
Then there will be no lottery, basically. Then they will accept all the cases. They'll tell them that you all should be able to file the cases normally from April 1, 2020. And whichever, that at the time it works on a first in, first out basis, basically. Whichever cases comes first until they meet $65,000, 65,000 member, and additional 20,000 for the master's degree quota, they'll accept those cases. And then they'll announce that once they reach that, the lottery has been reached on this date, the cap has been reached on this date. So they won't accepting cases and everything. So if they don't receive enough registrations beyond the required fiscal cap for the particular year, then that's what is going to happen. The registration basically will be basically will not be. All cases which have been registered will be selected to be filed with the USCIS because every case will be selected in the lottery, right?
Okay. So how many H-1B visas can we expect? I mean, previous years to compare cheste, me assumption ela undochu antaru. Any idea?
See, last year 280,000 registrations ayindi. Okay, so I'm not expecting anything going to be less than that. Probably even more this year because there's more demand for the jobs right now, and we are seeing the economy is doing good, and the market is very good for the IA, for the many professional positions, I would say. If it comes to doctors, nurses, there's a huge demand right now because of the COVID-19. And the same thing with the IT consulting industries also, because these jobs are also very related with the medical industry and everything, basically. So my assumption is it won't be less than what has been happened last year. I'm expecting it's going to be even more than what it is last year, basically. Maybe around 300,000, 350,000. That's what possible. It is absolutely possible to do the registration this time. That many.
Okay. So manki H-1B registration process timeline ఎంత ఉంటుందంటారు?
As I said, they're given for 14 days this time. March 9th నుంచి May 25th వరకు ఇచ్చారు, basically. So 14 or 15 days they have given this time. Last year 20 days ఇచ్చారండి. ఈ year only 15 days ఇచ్చారు మనకి టైం అది, basically.
ఓకే. జనరల్లీ మనకి 90 days టైం ఉంటుంది కదా. ఇఫ్ మనం సెలెక్ట్ అవ్వలేదు అనుకో, మన H-1B పిక్ అవ్వలేదు, అండ్ దెన్ మళ్ళీ మనం రీప్రాసెస్ చేసుకోవడానికి ఛాన్స్ ఉంటుందంటారా భాను గారు?
లేదండి. As I said, initial lottery they're going to select number of cases that is required to submit for the cap subject cases అండి. కానీ లాస్ట్ ఇయర్ ఏం జరిగిందండి, వాళ్ళు let's assume that they selected all the cases, they asked us to file from April to June 30, 2020 అండి, basically, right? కానీ when the employers actually filed those cases during the period, they did not meet the entire cap number, basically. and still there are a lot of cases there's still a lot of room is left in the cap numbers basically. Because that room is left in the cap numbers, what they have done is basically is that they basically went and they've done the second lottery basically again. And then the cases that have been submitted that have not been selected previously in the lottery, they went on selected, did the lottery for those cases, and then they got the second lottery selection in that. And once the second lottery selected, and those cases they are allowed to file between certain time period of time. So same thing can happen even now also basically.
ఓకే, సో మనకి మల్టిపుల్ ఎంప్లాయర్స్ నుంచి మనం H1s వేసుకున్నప్పుడు దానికి పికప్ ఛాన్సెస్ ఏ విధంగా ఉంటాయి అంటారు?
Sir, it's all about total number of cases that have been come. It's a simple probability, right? Basically, for example, ఇప్పుడు మీకు 300,000 వచ్చినాయి అనుకోండి basically, then obviously you're talking about 1:4 ratio basically, right? Or if it's only 65,000, you're talking about almost 1:5 ratio basically. So it's all about that total number of applications that have been come based upon the total number of numbers available, right? Total numbers available is 85,000, which is including general cap and the masters cap. So if 300,000 means if they're all masters cap cases, you're talking about 1:4. But if they're together based upon what number they're coming, the ratio will be differing accordingly, basically, you know. But for the general cap, if you receive 300,000 cases, you're talking about 1:5 is the ratio for the general cap, because masters cap cases kuda andulone untayi kabatti first, because first they will do the general cap, and then whatever cases not selected in the general cap, masters cap cases, they will be put in the second lottery, that is in the masters cap cases, and they get selected. So there are two different ratio numbers which we have to take depending upon which cap they're basically going through in the beginning, basically, you know.
సో దిస్ ఇయర్ మనం H1B రిజిస్ట్రేషన్ పిటిషనర్స్ కి అలాగే ఎంప్లాయర్స్ కి మైనా ఎనీ సజెషన్స్ మీరేం చెప్తారు? ఎలా రెడీ అవ్వాలి?
We're already ready, Eddie. In our office, we're accepting the cases. We are ready. We are actually pumped up to jump with this registration process in our office. We're eagerly waiting for employers to send the information to us so that we can start registrations and everything, you know. And we are going to reach out the employers also, tell them exactly what information is needed from a firm, and we will be proactive on that, and then we will make sure that they provide all the information, everything, Andy. The important for the employers is basically is that make sure that the information what they're submitting is true and correct, and make sure that they promptly complete the submission verification process in their accounts from their side as an attorneys from our side, so that we can complete the registration timely. Last year, there were few cases where we already created the registrations, but some employers couldn't complete it timely, their verification side, because of their inconveniences, personal inconveniences. And obviously they could not submit those cases. Later on, they felt bad because they could have done it if they have come a little bit earlier on that. So my issue is basically is that employers kindly timely complete the verification process from your end once your attorney submit your registrations properly on the USA's website, so that they can submit their registration timely before May 25, 2021, basically.
ఎస్, ఓకే భాను గారు, ఇప్పుడు మనకి డిహెచ్ఎస్ ఎలాగో మార్చ్ నుంచి డిసెంబర్ 31st కి డిలే చేసింది కాబట్టి నెక్స్ట్ వేజ్ లెవెల్ బేస్డ్, నెక్స్ట్ మనకి H1 ఎక్స్టెన్షన్ ఫైల్ చేసుకునే వాళ్ళకి ఆ రూల్ అప్లికబుల్ అవుతుందా లేదా?
There are two different things that you're talking about, basically. Okay, lottery wage level selection lottery is different thing, but yes, wage levels increasing for everybody for H1B filings is a different thing. That regulation has not been postponed yet. The regulation is still going to come into effect from June 2021, basically.
Okay.
So May 9th got effect అవుతుంది, but June లో the implementation వస్తుంది basically. So that is expected. Wage levels are going to increase for everybody, and current administration is always pro in increasing wages to the employees. So that is something which I'm not going to expect anything to be changed with those regulations, unless if there is any violation of Administrative Procedure Act through which we can file a lawsuit. Probably that is only the possibility which we can look into it. And those wages are going to be increased otherwise periodically. Anyway, they're going to every year, every fiscal year, they're going to publish new wages, basically, right? Even in that way, also they can show that in the survey the wages have been increased, and accordingly also they can increase the wages. That's what happens every year, basically, right? So that can happen. And but as I said, this time wage levels increase is not that inappropriate than what the prior administration tried to do in October 2020. Okay, October 2020, they basically tried to attack the H-1B program. We know that there was a beautiful article written by Stuart Anderson in the Forbes.com, what Trump administration tried to do with H-1B program, basically, right? And that's a beautiful article. You should know exactly what Trump government was doing with H-1B program, how they tried to attack the H-1B employers and everything, basically, right? So in the same way, we have to understand that these things can happen, basically, and. So yes, the wage levels are going to be the wage level increase is going to be implemented unless it's challenged in the court. It's going to be implemented, basically.
Yes. Finally, a golden immigration message to our viewers.
Golden, just follow the time. Make sure that you timely file your extensions, H4 and everything. Especially with H4 applications, we see the employers missing filing H4 applications for their dependent family members. They think that it is okay for them because they're an H-1B status, also automatically their H-4 status will continue. That does not happen. You have to make sure that you file H-4 extensions timely prior to their expiration so that they won't fall out of status in the country, basically. And the other thing is that I'm more optimistic with the new government. Basically, in the proposals, basically, what they're planning to implement to the Citizenship Act 2021 is that we're hoping that they're going to get the Child Status Protection Act also for all the people who are legally coming to this country. They also will be given the same benefit as DACA individuals are being given benefit in this country. People who came into this country legally, who maintain lawful status in this country, are losing those benefits once they reach 21 years, basically, and they're getting out of status. I think that is something which is very, very important. I think the people who wants to lobby about the immigration laws, I think should work on that. Make sure that those protections are given for these children who are aging out, basically, And I think those are the things which I would say the golden immigration message for the people, that everybody should work towards that, making sure the Congress gets aware of that and the USCIS gets aware of that and put some kind of, even the current administration gets aware of that, and either through executive orders or through the regulations or through the law, they are given protection so that these lawful immigrants who are in this country, who are legally aging out, basically, should be able to continue their benefits, basically,
yes,
and able to get adjustment of status in this country.
Yes, Bhanu garu, thank you so much for the valuable information, and thanks for being here. Thank you so much.
No, it's my pleasure. It's my pleasure, Prasanna garu. Thank you very much. And I'm sorry, I pronounced your name wrong last time as a Prashanti, but
that's okay.
I'm sorry for that. And thank you very much, Prasanna garu. Really appreciate it. And please take care. And my humble message is please maintain social distancing, wear a mask, and still a lot of people have to get vaccinated. Nobody has got vaccinated yet, and still a lot of the process going on. That's only my humble advice is kindly wear a social mark and stay healthy and be healthy. And God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. చూసారు కదా, ఇది వాళ్ళ స్పెషల్ ఇమిగ్రేషన్ టాక్ షో. మరో షోలో మళ్ళీ కలుసుకుందాం. అంతవరకు సెలవు. నమస్తే.